Thank you so much, Shelby. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Kelly Burchett, and I am the Vice President of Business Development for Airrosti. And joining us also is Dr. Garrett Buell. He is the local Troy Airrosti provider located in the historic downtown Troy, and is super excited to share with you today some tips and tools to help you while you're either working from home at your desk, or hopefully you can be back in your office working from your desk as well. So a couple additional housekeeping items with Shelby here. As she said, you guys are all muted. If you have any questions that pop up that you'd like to be posed to Dr. Buell, if you drop those into the chat feature, I'm happy at the end of the webinar, we'll do kind of a Q&A and we'll make sure that everyone's questions are answered. Just knowing that this is a public webinar, I wouldn't do anything with too much personal health information. We will give you some tools that if you have something specific to you that you want to chat with one of our providers, we'll give you some resources for that as we move forward. And there are some QR codes at the bottom of a couple of the slides that if you do have some specific questions where you want to schedule one-on-one time with Dr. Buell, you can put that screenshot onto hold your camera up to the screen, get that QR code open, and you can sign up for something called a VIP chat, which we'll talk about here at the end. Again, thank you for joining us. For those of you who don't know much about Airrosti, we are a healthcare group that focuses on musculoskeletal issues and conditions. So think of musculoskeletal as anything that is an ache or pain from the very tip of your head all the way down to your toes. So we can really be an effective treatment tool for anything from tension headaches down to plantar fasciitis and everything in between. Our treatment model is considered to fall under that conservative care regime. So we're not going to, pump you full of drugs or x-ray you to death. We really like to do a really thorough assessment and can typically treat most issues or conditions in about 3 to 4 visits, pending you don't have a broken bone or a fully torn tendon, as Dr. Buell's thumbs are only so magical, they can't heal things like that. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Buell to run through health at your desk, common conditions, and things along those lines. Again, if you have any questions that come up during, please drop them in the chat feature, and I'll be happy to pass them along here at the end. Take it away, Dr. Buell.
Awesome. Thanks, Kelly. So I'm Dr. Garrett Buell, for those of you I haven't had the chance to meet with, and I'm going to talk to you today about how to stay healthy at your desk. So throughout this, we're going to be going over there we go. The effects of prolonged sitting, some conditions that can occur from that, so tips to prevent that, and then we'll go over some evidence-based approaches and questions at the end. So why should you care about being healthy at your desk? Roughly about 80% of all Americans do a job that has little to no physical activity. And roughly the average American sits about 7.7 hours a day. And this is between driving to work, driving back, when we get home, watching TV, and a lot of us sit for work as well. And this can increase our chance for high blood pressure, other health issues like kidney disease and diabetes. And of course, it can lead to low back pain, headache, neck pain, and numbness and tingling in the hands and other issues as well. So why does this occur? How many of us start off our day nice and tall in the perfect posture, and then by the end of the day, we're kind of leaning forwards and rolling our shoulders? So prolonged sitting does cause our head to go forward, so we're jutting our chin out, and we're pinching our shoulders and rolling our back. This puts our spine in constant flexion, which is not good for it, and chronic sitting causes our hip flexor tendons to shorten over time, causing them to be tight as well. So this leads to a phenomenon called upper cross syndrome. And this is caused by tightening of the chest. So we roll our chest forwards, and this stretches out the back muscles, causing them to be weaker. So we get a tight pecs, tight upper back, and then weak deep neck flexors and weak lower rhomboids as well. And this is one of the most common faulty upper body mechanics that we know. This can also happen in the lower body. So prolonged sitting causes our abdomen to become weak and our glutes to not work correctly. And this causes a tightness in our low back and those tight hip flexor tendons. So this is also known as gluteal amnesia. And this is a disorder where our glutes forget to fire correctly, and this can cause low back pain. And you always see that guy at the gym that can stretches every day but can never touch his toes. And that's because he's most likely having some glute issues. So, all right. So, what kind of common conditions are associated with this? First of all, you can get mid-back pain. So this is anywhere from the neck to mid-back. And this can be caused by muscle irritation, some joint issues, or in rare issues, a herniated disc. But most of the time, this is caused by weak rhomboids. So whenever we roll our back forward, we're never exercising those back muscles and causes those to be weak. And mid-back pain comes from that. Also, a lot of people don't know that you can get tension headaches. So this is the most common cause of headache. And so you have muscles in the back of the neck here. And whenever we sit with that forward head posture, it causes tightening of these muscles. Underneath those muscles is nerves and arteries that innervate the skull. And that pressure on them can cause a band-like headache around your neck. And this is from the tightening of the suboccipital muscles. You can also get thoracic outlet syndrome. So this is caused by the pec minor. Underneath that in the chest, a nerve and artery go through there to innervate your hands. So this can compress in that blood vessel and nerve, causing either a numbness and tingling in the hand. You can get grip strength issues and pain in the shoulders as well. So this is from tightening of the pec minor, and a lot of people do mistake this for carpal tunnel. So I get patients that come in that have had the surgery for carpal tunnel, but it never seemed to help. And then we find out up in their shoulder, there's an issue with the pec minor. So we address that, and a lot of times it does help out with the carpal tunnel issues. And last but not least, you can get low back pain from this. And this can be a sharp, dull, or mild to severe issues. And this can be caused by sprain or stress injuries. And it's more common in the low back than the mid back, but you can get disc herniations down here as well from that bad posture over time. And this is from prolonged sitting. All right, so are we completely helpless, or can we prevent this? So as much as some of you would like, we can't just quit our jobs and just be health experts and be active all day. Fortunately, we can do some prevention strategies for that. So first of all, simple, the executive stretch. So this one helps with those tight glutes and low back tightness as well. So all you do on this one is cross your leg over, and then you can lean forwards to increase the stretch, and you can also pull the hip towards you as well. So this stretch will help stretch out the glutes and everything below the back there. We're going backwards now. All right, next we have the seated row. So the seated row is very helpful for strengthening the mid-back to lower back as well. So all you do is you're going to be acting like you're giving yourself a hug with your elbows. So you're going to keep your arms in tight and then do a row. So very simple and effective, and this is going to help pull back those shoulders from that prolonged sitting over the day. Next, we have the seated neck stretch. So this can help with headaches and TOS I was talking about, the numbness and tingling down the hand. So this is going to be stretching your neck. All you do is you're going to anchor yourself down to your chair with one arm and then lean away from that. So normally I hold these stretches for about 60 seconds. Anything less than that isn't going to be holding as long a term as you'd like. So just make sure that you hold these for at least 60 seconds. Next is the chin tuck. So this is going to help pull back the neck and head as well. and strengthen the deep neck flexors that hardly ever get worked out during our day. So this one is not the most flattering, but with it, you will be making a double chin and then jutting your chin out and then pulling it back. So if you want to get a kick out of this one, whenever you're at a red light, just start doing these and the person next to you will think you're kind of weird and start laughing. All right. Next, we have the Brugger exercise. So this one's very beneficial for strengthening those mid-rhomboids, lower back as well, and pulling the shoulders back, opening up the chest here. So you're going to start in good posture with the elbows down by your side, and you guys don't have a band, but if you'd like one, you can stop by my office. We're over at 101 West Franklin, and I'll get you one as well, but you can do this exercise without a band as well. So you're going to start with the elbows out by the side with your band, and you're just going to bring it away from the body and then extend out. So normally I like to do 2 sets of 15 on this one. And this one's very good for pulling back the shoulders, like I said, and opening up that chest. Next, we have the hip flexor stretch. So Tim Tebow is really good at this one. And all you do is you get down on your knee, and you're going to be sitting nice and tall, put your leg out, and then you're going to be stretching forward. So again, I like to hold this one for a minute, and it's going to be stretching the hip flexor complex right here. And last but not least, my favorite of all, the seated press up. So this one you can do literally anywhere that you sit, and all you do is sit in that nice good posture, and you're going to squeeze your butt together. So you know if you're doing this one right if you raise up and down out of your chair, and this helps strengthen the glute muscles and helps prevent that gluteal amnesia where glutes forget to fire correctly as well. So that way, whenever we do lift stuff, that the glutes help out the low back as well when we're lifting that weight. All right, and I'm going to pass it back to Kelly now for the outcome-based care, and then at the end we'll answer your questions. Thank you
so much, Dr. Buell. So if you guys have any questions, again, feel free to drop them into the chat feature, and I'll be happy to run those through for you guys. So again, just a little bit back to Airrosti. As I mentioned in the beginning, we really want to be that choice for your musculoskeletal care. We've seen, actually at this point, I need to update this slide, over 1 million patient cases, and we still have a 3.2 visit average. So if you've ever done some other different types of either chiropractic or PT, you probably have spent a few more visits than 3.2 to have full injury resolution, but we would really love to be that first stop shop for you. We've prevented over 15,000 physician-recommended surgeries by really utilizing our conservative care model for treatment. Again, to kind of review musculoskeletal, I know everybody thinks of knees, shoulders, back, but we really can fix a wide variety of conditions and concerns. So the muscle man here is one of our favorite graphics to use. If you are like, yes, please circle all of it, that is all of my pain. For sure, we'd love to help, but again, this is just some of the more popular conditions that we see. If it's not listed on there, that doesn't mean that we can't help you that resource for you. We would truly love to check out your musculoskeletal condition. We are in network with most major insurance here in Ohio, and how Airrosti works is we do verify all of your costs before you would come into an office. With that, we are open, still following CDC protocols and requiring masks. Hopefully we'll get to a space where that doesn't have to be, but we have a quick screening process going in with visits and appointments and are a safe option. We do have a telehealth care option as well. So if in clinic you aren't feeling comfortable in that space, we do have telehealth options for you. I know Dr. Buell gave his office location, but it's in downtown Troy. Here's our website and his email address, as well as if you scan this QR code, it'll take you directly to our website where you can schedule an appointment with Dr. Buell. And in the follow-up email, we'll also give a link for a VIP chat, which you saw at the bottom of our screen. That is our completely free, I'm going to say free twice, musculoskeletal triage program. So you'll be able to chat with one of our providers about anything that you have going on. They'd be help diagnose you and kind of share which direction you should go next, or help set you up for a visit with one of our providers. So with that, I am going to go. We have one question so far in the chat, and if you guys have anything else, no question is too silly, we're happy to answer. For a copy of the presentation, yep, this is being recorded by Shelby, so we'll share that out, as well as we have a PDF of the exercises that Dr. Buell went over today will be sent as a follow-up too, so you can post them up by your computer, hopefully get some of those stretches done in your workday to make working at your desk a little bit more comfortable.